Good afternoon, board judges. My name is Gerardo Reyes Jr., and my topic is on solitary confinement. But before I start, I would like to speak a little bit about myself first. My favorite memory from my life would have to be when my cousins from Texas returned to California for the holidays after almost 3 years of not seeing them. A whole lot of memories were made and old ones were relived. I felt like things were back to how they used to be for just a moment. I love my family, and being able to spend pure quality time with them is very important to me. I put it way higher than a lot of other things like video games or TV shows. My favorite classes, and I say classes because they correlate with my major, and I cannot choose between both of them. Those classes are anatomy and sports medicine. When I am in those classes, I feel like I am learning things that I can actually use in my life, like to be able to help others and heal them so they can go on and live a happy life. I enjoy the things I am learning and the knowledge I am acquiring. I know it will help me when I am studying to be a nurse. My claim is solitary confinement is a terrible punishment being used on inmates in prisons that has been around for a few centuries. It is cruel because the inmate is being cut off from society and the people only have themselves and no other contact. Not only are they being isolated, but they are being isolated for a long period of time. It is not healthy for them to be kept away from society and left alone to rot. There are studies that have been made and hypotheses that have been tested that have proven that the psyche of a person changes when they are not interacting with others. Communication is crucial for a person and is needed. The communication that the average person gets on the regular day is often taken advantage of because some other people would die for that communication. And others do not even get close to that amount of social practice and tend to shut themselves off completely from the rest of the world. The effects are unpredictable and people have gone crazy and completely insane because of the lack of people in their lives. This punishment is being abused by the guards and wardens of the prisons. This heinous act should be only for the cruel or select inmates, then just use the punishment for any little occurrence between inmates. Some are put in there for a vast amount of times, ranging from hours to years, and initially, it was meant for a timeout, but then grew into a new home for inmates. They have to be alone in a minimalist cell, close to nothing cell, where all they have is their thoughts to accompany them, for however long they have to serve their time. People are not made for living in these small spaces, because they start to go crazy. And that is only based on a little bit of time in solitary confinement. Time is critical in a person. It can give meaning to a life, or strip it totally away from them. Some things people would say to oppose me would be like, people are deserving of being punished due to some of the crimes they have committed, like murder or robbery, are more deserving of cruel acts because of the pain that they cause others. This is unconstitutional. The Eighth Amendment says that no citizen should be put to cruel or unusual punishments. Being placed in a room by themselves is a cruel and unusual punishment. Another thing is the behavior inside the prison, and how some inmates tend to be more on the reckless side. The opposers would say that they should be punished more so that they learn to behave. They do not want the prison guards or wardens to tolerate that behavior inside of them. What I say to those people would be, no one is deserving of straight up cruel punishments. Inmates are already there for a reason, and now they have to go to a prison within a prison. The cell that they get is not supposed to be for people to live there, but to just stop by for a bit, a timeout. Human beings are being forced into some cells that are smaller than a horse stable. There are better ways to deal with behavior that does not involve solitary confinement for weeks. Inmates have stayed there for months, years, and some have stayed for almost decades. Solitary confinement is not a punishment that should be allowed. Solitary confinement is not a punishment that should be abused. People need to have done something very terrible for them to be in solitary confinement. Not just that, but there are also alternative ways for discipline within a prison to detain an inmate. Not only is the individual affected, but their families are not even allowed to see the inmates while in solitary confinement, so it damages the families too. Solitary confinement is too much power being abused by the higher ups that is basically playing with human lives. This is a serious topic because these are human lives at the hands of abusers, and it is possible to end this real life nightmare of people now. Humans are humans, and no one deserves to be treated otherwise. There are so many better ways to deal with problems that does not include acting inhumane or torturing humans. My passion is to make other people happy and be able to make my optimism contagious. I have family who are in the medical field and love their job because they get to help people feel better. I want to be able to do that to the fullest and make people feel better. There are people that I have met that shared that contagious optimism with me, and it changed my life, and now I want to pay it forward and give it to the world. Being a nurse is a pathway I want to pursue because it allowed me to do all the things I just said. I am committed to Mount Sac Community College to be a full-time student and join the nursing program. I plan to graduate in 2 years and transfer to a 4-year to be able to become a registered nurse and receive my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. I want to be able to help the people the way I want to be helped, and also because I want to be like my family and help other people and save lives. The quote that I chose was, "Quotes don't work unless you do." I chose this quote because in reality, people can talk all they want, but putting in the work is what matters. You need to be able to back up what you say and make those quotes you believe in come true. Thank you.